Hey guys, today we're going to take a look at new makeup brushes I've added to my collection. And I know previously I've shown you guys these brushes, or some of them at least, in a video, but I know I didn't talk about them extensively and I did not demo them for you. I don't have any makeup on today other than some brow gel, so I will use these new brushes to apply concealer, foundation, powder, and eyeshadow. These two brushes here, you can still purchase them through a US retailer online and have them shipped to you that way. These two brushes you can no longer get from a US retailer or a retailer that will ship to the States, which means you have to use a shopping service or a proxy shopping service. I will have information below on the two proxy services I've used in the past with success. So if you're interested, you can look at getting them through these services. So I want to first start with the BP14. This is from Koyudo. And you can see that brand name is printed here. So the BP brush you can purchase from Beautylish, from Fude Japan. And on Beautylish, they describe the BP brush as a high-class series foundation brush. Specifically selected Hakutotsu goat hair bristles allow you to apply powder effortlessly and create a silky smooth finish. This brush may also be used as a concealer brush. Because this is undyed goat hair, you could use liquid and creams with it, and that's exactly what I'm going to do. I'm going to apply concealer using this brush. So that's what it looks like, and it is a little bit bigger than what I'm used to for a concealer brush. The other two concealer go-to brushes that I have is going to be from the Koyudo Fupa 11. You can still get this from Fude Japan. I will have all the information below on where you can purchase each of these brushes that I'll be mentioning in this video. And then also from Kihitsu brush set, this is Sonia G's Kihitsu brush set, and the brush is mini base. You can't purchase this brush by itself. It does come in the Kihitsu set. It's amazing that the Kihitsu set is still available, and I know I've said this like, 50, 100 times on this channel, but it's amazing how it's still available. I absolutely love the set, great for traveling, but this mini base is very versatile. I use it to apply cream blushes. I also use it for concealer, and it's just very versatile. I've also used it to apply foundation, but because it's so small, it takes way more time. So it works for any kind of cream or liquid products that you need to use it for. Sonia G also recently released this mini base in her Fusion brush set. And the Fusion set consists of 5 brushes you can use for liquids and creams. They come with varying sizes, bristle length for various types of jobs. And the mini base was included there. That set was sold out within minutes is what I've heard, but she does have plans to bring it back as early as mid-July or end of July, and it will definitely, it's not limited edition, so that's great. It will definitely keep coming back as long as there is demand for it. So these two are my go-tos, and for the first time I am using this brush here, BP14, to apply concealer, and so far I think it looks good. I want to blend this part out a little bit more. But even though it's bigger, which means you don't have as much control over it, I still find that it blended everything well. No complaints. Let's try the other side. I'm gonna see if I can do really detailed blending work with this brush, because I felt like I could have used more coverage right here. I think this looks pretty good. I will come back to this brush later and use it to apply cream highlighter. I'm not going to demo this to apply foundation because I think it's too small. The BP brush that I use for foundation, amongst a few other things, is going to be the number 13. So this is the Koyudo BP 13, and this is 14, like huge size difference. Because this is so big, it covers a lot of area. You can apply foundation very quickly. As you can see, I also use it for blush and bronzer, and it works for all of those products. For foundation, I am going to use Kihitsu's SA11. This brush has the exact same specs as Koyudo's Fupa 7. And the Fupa 7 is discontinued by Koyudo. So if you are interested in this brush, you know, this type of spec, the shape, you will have to purchase it from Kihitsu. And Koyudo actually manufactures all of Kihitsu's brushes. It's like a second brand name. I think it used to be just under the same company. Now they have become independent, but they only sell Koyudo manufactured brushes. I'm not sure the business reason exactly behind that, but maybe it is to address the increase in prices, since it's become harder to source these materials like these natural bristles. My normal go-to foundation, liquids and cream foundation brush is actually going to be the Koyudo Fupa 13. So this is the smaller angled brush here. There is a larger one, which I didn't get a chance to get before it was all discontinued. And I love this brush for the angle. The way I use it is I would dab some product and then just swipe like this. Because of the angle, I can get to smaller areas fairly effectively. So I am interested to see what this is like. Because it's bigger, I definitely expect it to be faster to apply foundation with, but I'm just curious how it's gonna address like these other areas here. I think this one will be better for detailed work, and this is better for pace or speed. The difference between the original Koyudo Fupa version of this is probably gonna be the handle and the ferrule. So this is a light pastel pink and with like, you know, the silver stainless steel ferrule. And it also has like these sparkly specks when you look at it closely. This one here, I think it's just the color, because the handle, while it is hot pink, it also has, you know, the same sparkly specks. And of course this is in a black color. The foundation I will be using is Surratt's Dewdrop Foundation, and I'm just gonna try the shade number 6. It might be too deep. If it is, that's okay. We'll just add some number 5 to it. I'm just gonna dab it like this and apply. So the foundation is too deep for my skin at this time. This is shade number 6. I am gonna go back and apply number 5 just to lighten things up a little bit. I do plan to wear this look throughout the day, so I'd prefer the color of my face to match my neck. And I just wanna show you though, before I go back and do that, is how the application looks. It was very quick to get the product to spread it and blend it into the skin. And while this looks very dense, I did not feel nearly as much resistance as I thought I would. And maybe because of that, it did give me a more sheer application than I expected. I get a very dense application using this brush, and this in comparison definitely feels more sheer and more akin to this BP number 13. So I thought that was interesting, and I felt like because of its size and the shape, it is more difficult to get good even coverage around these areas here where more control is going to be best. So let's try again using the lighter shade. And I guess I'm just gonna go really easy on the bronzer and maybe not even apply any, because at least with this, everything looks a little bit lighter here and deeper here, so it can act as a, you know, you basically bronzed or contour a little bit of your face. Yeah, so I think this is okay. And definitely, I think it did an okay job in these areas here, but if you really want that even full coverage, especially around the smaller areas, I do recommend going in with like a more detailed brush. Even your, you know, go-to small concealer brush, even this one here would do just fine. In fact, Why don't we try using number 14 to do that? Yeah, that was much easier, much better. For all over face powder, I'm going to use Chikuhodo's MK-KO Makie series brush. This is my first Chikuhodo brush and I'm just beyond excited. I want to come closer to show you the detail. This is a carp design, or koi in Japanese, and it's designed by a well-known artist partnering with a well-known lacquerware company to bring this to life, and it's just beautiful. The hot pink, the gold and silver here. When I look at this brush, I think of Beautylish's Lunar New Year brush, so I just want to compare and show you guys real quick here. While these two brushes do look similar, even side by side, there are actually several specifics in their specs that make them different from each other. The first thing is going to be the bristle length. The MK-KO brush is 52 millimeter, and the Beautylish one is 47.625 millimeter. And the Beautylish ferrule is longer, as well as the handle, and it's shorter on MK-KO. The bristles, or the hairs, on the Beautylish brush is made from blue squirrel hair, and on the MK-KO is gray squirrel or ash squirrel hair. And from Beautylish's website, where they describe the MK-KO, is that it's a flat, round powder brush with a lacquered handle. The bristles are made of 100% fine ash squirrel hair for irresistibly soft and smooth touch. The ultra soft bristles create a luxurious feel on the skin and are especially ideal for those with sensitive skin. The versatile size is perfect for using with loose powder or pressed powders. The handle is of an original design with a carp motif by the mural artist Hideki Kimura and Yamanaka Nurifu Makie. So that is the lacquered company, Yamanaka Nurifu. Why it's so special? Ishikawa Prefecture's traditional craft Yamanaka lacquerware is a unique Japanese art craft created by applying patterns on the surface of lacquerware with gold or silver powders. This gorgeous decoration is applied to brush handles by craftsmen's techniques. So I'm going to go ahead and use it for all over face powder. The face powder I am using today is Milk's. I think this is their mattifying powder. Translucent powder. So this is with the powder applied, and it was actually really quick because it covered such a great surface area, and it grabbed the product and the product just kind of stayed on the top of the bristles, and you can effectively really get onto your skin quickly. So I would say everything feels pretty even in terms of the powder distribution, and it feels incredibly soft, just so soft. Between these two, I really couldn't tell you which one is softer. I want to say this one, the Chikuhodo brush, but again, I've used this for over a year now, so if you guys do have a strong opinion about which one should be softer, or you think that no, for sure it's going to be one over the other, let me know below. I am interested in seeing what you guys think. And for eyeshadow, I'm going to start with this brush here. This is the BP 33 brush that has been discontinued by Koyudo, but you can get it through the Kihitsu brand name. And I don't have any brushes that are quite this size and of a paddle shape. The one that I have is from Sonia G, and this is from her Pro Eye set. This is the Builder Pro. So this is the only paddle brush that I have, which is the Builder Pro, before I got the BP 33. And you can see that BP 33 is much bigger. The bristles are longer and it's wider, and it's also softer. So the Sonia G brush is made from dyed goat hair, and this is made from squirrel hair. For eyeshadow, I'm using Chantecaille's Luminescent Eye Shade in Elephant. It is a shimmering taupe gray. So before I go any further, I want to come closer. This is not blended out. And I just want to show you, this is actually a very intense eyeshadow. It's actually the reason why I chose it. I just want to do like a one and done, but also something intense. When you use this brush, you get a lighter or softer application. So if I use the Builder Pro on the other eye, I'm going to show you the difference. What you're going to get is a little bit more intense. This is more densely packed, and this is not as much. It definitely feels kind of airy and very soft compared to the Worker Pro. So while both are great for different purposes, if you want an eyeshadow to have a lighter swatch of color on your lids, this is actually a great brush for that. And for something like this, usually I would use my fingers to apply it, or I would use my finger to like add on more after. But for demonstration today, we'll keep it as is. I'm not going to go back in with my finger. I'm just going to take a different brush now to blend out the shadow. So that's what I love about the luminescent eye shades. It's truly one and done, but gives you dimension just because it's shimmering, and by just how the light hits it, you'll just get dimensions in your look. Wow guys, I took a break from filming, and when I came back I forgot to hit record. So let me walk you through what I did to complete this look. I actually went back to the MK-KO brush to apply blush. And the shade I use is from SUQQU. It is called Grace. It's the first time I've used this. And what I found is that the shade is deeper than I expected, deeper than I think might be suitable for me. Probably towards like more the middle of summer, I could probably use the shade much easier. But it grabbed all the powders at the top of the bristles like it did when I did the all over face powder. And so as I applied it, I got this really concentrated deposit right here. And I needed to go back in with my Sonia G, this is Soft Cheek, to really blend it out. And you know, I could probably do a bit more of this now. So I got this like nice kind of contour with the blush, if you will, but it just didn't look as good. So I got to remember, even though this is really soft and it diffuses powders really well, I still got to be careful when it's a pigmented blush, and especially something that is not quite as neutral. It's deeper than what my skin tone could, you know, easily wear. The next thing I did after that was to go back with the BP 14 brush to apply Lisa Eldridge's Elevated Glow. I use it to blend it out. So I actually used a doe foot to apply the product and then went back in with the brush. I'm okay with adding just a little bit more here to show you guys, because that won't be, you know, difficult to demonstrate. I'll just be very glowing. That's okay. I think it is worth it to demonstrate this brush. So using the other side, so the non-concealer foundation side, I use the clean side to basically work the product and diffuse it, melt it into the skin. I'm definitely much glowier than I intended to be, but that's okay. It's worth it to go back in a second time to show you this brush in action. And I mean, the Lisa Eldridge product is also really beautiful. It's easy to use. You could use your fingers too, but I just like the control and precision you get with the brush. And also, I feel like using the brush, it looks more even and more blended in than it would be with a finger. And the size of it is also perfect. It just fits in all these areas here. You could use the tip. I could use that for the Cupid's bow. I love it. It's an easy go-to for me to use this brush for liquid highlighter and also for under eye concealer. I think it works really well too. So finally, after that, I went back in with a lip product here. This is SUQQU's Comfort Lip Fluid Fog, and in the shade 107. This was released during their, I think, Garden After Rain collection for spring. It's in a matte finish, but I felt like it would be a good match for the eyeshadow, blush, and also this blouse today. I'm going to apply some mascara and we'll come back for the completed look and just a summary of all these brushes. As for the brushes, the standout one for me is going to be the BP 14 here. You guys know I really like the 13, and now we've got 14, and I like these two. This one I can see myself using more often than the 13 because it allows me to work in those smaller areas, and I don't actually have a lot of brushes for that specifically, like the under eye concealer, highlighter, for example. I do have a lot of foundation, like liquid cream foundation brushes, from synthetics to, you know, natural hair. So I have a lot of options there, but not so much for those smaller areas. This is definitely going to be used pretty often. As for the Kihitsu SA11, or aka Fupa 7, this brush applies foundation pretty efficiently and it's very quick, but the trade-off for that is you get a sheer application of product. I don't know how often I'll grab for this because I am enjoying my synthetic brushes right now with the cream foundations, but I would love to try this with the cream foundations just to see what that's like. So I'm glad I have this in my collection because I do like the Fupa brushes and I'd like to get more in my collection before, you know, maybe all these older models are sold out. Actually, I wouldn't say this is an older model. You can still get it through Kihitsu. I think they're still producing it without much interruption. Again, all the information about the brushes, the Proxy shopping services, they're going to be in the description for you guys to have a look. As for the Chikuhodo MK-KO brush, this one has a special place in my heart. It's my first Chikuhodo brush. I won this in a giveaway. Thank you again to Fude Beauty, and it's just exquisite. It's beautiful. I do like how it feels when I apply all over face powder. So I see myself grabbing this for that reason. And also it just, you know, kind of brightens up your day if you start your morning by using this brush. I would imagine it just gives you a little bit more pep to your day. One word on the packaging. Not all brushes come with a box, and some of you guys are well aware of this. The Chikuhodo brush does come in this beautiful gold foil box and has on the inside this washi style trim. It also comes in a plastic wrap, and there's some information about the brush and I think some care information as well. So a lot of packaging, a lot of details. Normally with Kumano Fude, like Japanese brushes, they come in a plastic wrap like this. And if it comes from the Kumano region, it'll have the sticker here. So the Chikuhodo definitely has added packaging, very pretty to go with this exquisite brush. Normally they come in this, you know, plastic wrap. The Kihitsu brushes come in a plastic box. It still says Kumano Fude here and then the brand Kihitsu. Inside there's actually some instructions. So this leads me to think, and I have not done too many price comparisons because a lot of the brushes that I look at on the Kihitsu brand side is discontinued on Koyudo's side, but I want to say Kihitsu brushes, the MSRP, the retail prices, are a bit higher. If you guys know for sure whether that's the case, please let me know in the description below, but I want to say because typically more packaging also means higher prices. Well, there you go. I love showing you my new brushes. I am slowly but surely collecting those Koyudo BP brushes, as well as any Koyudo Fupa brushes I can get my hands on. Thank you guys so much for watching. See you very soon in the next one. Bye.